straight, never cared. What's good, everybody? It's your host G Slack, Super Slacker, Slack the Savior, Slack your boy, and you are about to watch the second half of the first part of the interview you just watched. During post-production, it just hurt me to cut the rest of this, so I just had to make a second video about it. Make sure you still like the video, still drop a comment, still subscribe, still share it, everything. Let's get into it. True. And especially nowadays where everything is so accessible, especially to, artists that's just starting out or creators that's just starting out, you can download an app and there you go with your videos, your recording, your mixing right there. It's not obviously up to the par of being at a big studio, but people are able to get that practice now that when they get into a big studio, they know what they're doing. They got that experience or a little bit of it.
Yeah, and it's necessary. I mean, that artists are making a big mistake when I tell artists they're making a big mistake when they don't record themselves at home. I mean, you can get this shit dirt cheap. You don't have to put it out like this. You can go get a whole recording setup for like $200 and you can practice, music. I think a lot of people look at music like it's purely creative and there's a lot of it that comes down to skill set, and skill set gets developed with time in. You got to practice. You need reps every single time you record. You're not going to see improvements right away, just like anything you do. If you're playing basketball and you're shooting, you're not going to like shoot once and then your second shot's going to be much better. It's going to take repetition. Every time you make a song, you're going to improve very slightly, and you need to work as much as you can. So you need that home studio setup, and it's great that we have that now.
Very true. And something I do say to a lot of, young people that's starting out that I know, I always tell them, if you don't think you can only just rap, try other genres, try everything, branch out, you know what I'm saying? It's not there just so you can, get on your drum pad and make a trap beat every time you want to make a song. Like you really got to explore, different types of sounds, different patterns, different chord phrasing, things like that. So do you yourself have any musical experience prior to being a sound engineer or mixing engineer? Any instruments, anything like that?
No, I am horrible with all that. I've tried picking up pretty much everything, where
Okay.
I've picked up piano and I actually even tried violin at one point. I picked up guitar, and I put it down. I'll learn very fundamentals of it and then I put it down. As a mixing engineer, I think that's necessary to maybe learn fundamentals of instruments. But yeah, I just wasn't too interested in making music.
Making it. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what would you say to a young artist or a creator or engineer or even businessman that's, starting off in this journey and they wanna get into the industry? What is the first thing you would tell them to do?
Um, first and foremost, it's going to come down to knowledge and time in. Music industry, when you're hopping into this, it's the most competitive game there is. There's no other job on this planet that has millions of people doing it for free just because they want to one day hopefully make money.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a million plumbers or electricians doing their work for free because they're hoping one day they can get the job in. This is extremely competitive, so you're going to have to work way more than you'd have to work in a regular job. So expect many years of tons of free work and time in to get the knowledge. I probably didn't make money in music for 6 years. And I think a lot of people, because of things on the internet or whatnot, don't ever work for free. Da, 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 da. When you suck, you're going to have to work for free. And when you start, you're going to suck. And there's no way around it. So I just think the time in, I think a lot of people undervalue that. And then get mentors, try to get internships, get people where that's what I did. And it elevated me to next level overnight. Get people, if you want to be a producer, go find good producers, hassle them, ask them what you can do for them, help them out, do things for free for them, just for the knowledge. It's all about how much you know. Eventually that turns into money.
And everybody that's watching, don't sleep on these, man. Don't sleep on this knowledge that he dropping. Don't sleep on the game. This man know what he talking about. So, Phil, what can we expect seeing you in the next, let's say 2.5, 3 months? What can we expect from you? Whether it's, dropping new music, collaborating with new artists, besides building the studio.
A lot. I'm gonna be bringing a lot more content to Parallel. So right now we've been creating it over the last couple of months. So over Instagram and whatnot, I'm gonna be dropping a lot more game, doing interviews, things like that. I have a manager now who's kind of pushing doing things like this. So there's gonna be a lot more knowledge I'm putting out there for maybe young engineers and artists and anyone really who wants to be involved in music. And just the new parallel and just focusing on expanding our brand. That's basically all I'll be doing.
Great, man. Well, before we go, any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out everyone who works at Parallel or helped throughout Parallel, everyone who records at Parallel. You guys are the only way to make that thing possible. So I appreciate you guys.
Sweet. So one last thing before we end the interview off, man. I just gotta have you say my tagline.
I got you.
All right. So
What is
just say I'm mixed by Phil or mixed by Phillip, and I just did 15 minutes with G Slack.
Awesome. Okay. I'm mixed by Phillip and I just did 15 minutes with G Slack.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We out.
Yeah, yeah. I said big G Slack, give it straight, never caps.